I'm back now with Milwaukee County Sheriff David Clarke and Milwaukee Mayor Tom Barrett. If you want to join the conversation, then tweet me at Piers Morgan. Mr. Mayor, look, I get frustrated with this because I don't think it's the job of a sheriff to be going on producing advertisements urging the public
let me make a couple of quick...
No, let me go to the mayor. To effectively be ignoring a first response call to the police. What is your reaction to what the sheriff is saying?
Let me make a couple of quick points. The sheriff talked about furloughs. We've talked to the police chief. The police chief has assured us that there will be absolutely no reduction in coverage as a result of the furloughs. We have 3 furlough days so that we can make a pension payment of $29 million for our police and have no layoffs. Second, the sheriff said that he can respond to all calls in Milwaukee County. He didn't say that he does respond to all calls. The calls, the 911 calls that come from residences in the city of Milwaukee are responded to by the Milwaukee Police Department. But let me tell you what's really going on here. What he doesn't want to do is he doesn't want to talk about the issues that are before the American people right now. You've had a long segment on what happened in Newtown. In Milwaukee, we've had similar incidents. And I'm going to talk about one in particular where we had an individual who had a restraining order against him because he could not, because of the threats he made to his wife. Once that restraining order was issued, he went out, posted on the internet, and bought a gun, went and killed her and 2 others in a spa. Now, I would not sell a gun to an individual who has a domestic violence order against him. I would not sell a gun to someone who has an involuntary mental judgment commitment. I would not sell a gun to someone who has a criminal record. And right now, he is defending laws that have a loophole that allow those individuals criminal records, mental health records that are involuntary or domestic violence orders to go buy guns on private sales. I need our sheriff to support the initiative that says that individuals who sell guns ensure that those guns are not being sold to criminals, they're not being sold to people of domestic violence orders, and they're not being sold to people of involuntary mental judgment commitments. And I need that because 40% of the sales are occurring outside of gun dealers.
Okay, well, Sheriff, what's your response? It all seems eminently reasonable.
Well, Mayor, that's easy to say. You have an armed security staff that follows you around that the average person doesn't have. Several summers ago, you were involved in an incident where a tire iron wielding suspect beat you within inches of your life. I'm sure that if you had a gun in a plan that day, the outcome would have been a little different. I'm asking, and the reason I raise that, I'm asking that law-abiding citizens, I'm asking that law-abiding citizens who make the decision that they see their personal security as their individual responsibility in a like situation can respond as they see fit. And that's an exigent situation. I in no way, shape, or form advocated for everybody to do that in every situation. I pointed out in exigent situations, when the wolf is at the door, when the intruder is inside your home,
Sheriff, do you support the background check?
I didn't interrupt you, Mary. I didn't interrupt you. Let me make my point. We have a burglary and a robbery problem going on in the city of Milwaukee. I live in the city of Milwaukee, by the way. And the response was what? That's been going on for quite some time. Some of those are home invasion robberies and home invasion burglaries. Recently this summer, we had a woman, actually last summer, a pregnant woman with her 15-year-old son. She was gunned down in a holdup on the street. That's one of those exigent situations where she couldn't call one. We also had a grocery store owner who was shot and killed in a robbery attempt. He didn't get a chance to call 911. So what I'm asking...
let me ask you, Sheriff. Let me ask you, Sheriff, the question the mayor asked you very quickly. Yes or no, do you support the idea of background checks for all gun trades?
What I support is a prosecutor's office and a judiciary that hammers the people who illegally use a firearm in the commission of a crime.
Okay.
I think we need to start by enforcing the laws that are on the books first before we start penalizing law-abiding citizens, because I trust law-abiding citizens.
We'll have to leave it there. It was a simple question, and you couldn't answer it. We'll leave it there. Sheriff and Mr. Mayor, thank you both very much.
It might not be the answer that you wanted, but it was an answer.
Well, the answer is normally to the question I've posed, which was about background checks. You chose not to answer it. Anyway, next, did the NFL cook the books so a black referee would be on the field for the Super Bowl? My exclusive interview with the man who broke the story coming up.
I was 17 when I joined the KGB. Never had a boyfriend. They put me with you. We didn't know each other. When we got here, I was 22 years old, living in a strange house in a